Okay, in this video we're just going to have a look at the WIMAXIT Micro V mount battery, and this is the 99 watt hour version. So we're just going to quickly open it up, take a look what ports and everything it's got, give it a quick charge, and then kind of go from there and see what we can do with it. And I do have similar batteries to this one, so I'll kind of be doing a little bit of a comparison with those batteries and sort of seeing how this holds up, because this does sit a little bit more at the sort of budget end of the V-mount market, where I got this for it was £129 from Amazon, and I'll leave a link to it. You can check it out and see the kind of specs on there, but we'll just quickly open it up and see what we've got in there. So, bit of advertisement, put that back in the box. We've got our instructions here. There's actually some basic instructions on the back of the box, and they are very basic. It gives us the ports, and we've basically just got, don't place it in a humid, high temperature, don't disassemble it, and avoid short circuits, keep away from children. So it's pretty, it's pretty self-explanatory stuff. There's nothing major in there, but we've got some instructions with it that you can sort of have a look through and get an idea of. But if we jump in, we'll just open the packet. So we've got a BP connection at the bottom, and then on the left side we've got a sort of rubber cover with our D-tap, and we've got on this side another rubber cover, under that another D-tap. So we've got dual D-tap, one each side, which is really nice. And then on the top you can see it says USB, or you can probably just about see that, USB type C. So we've got USB A on this side and USB C on this side, and on the front we've got quite a nice little screen, and the screen will give us power readouts and the battery indicator. So it's all round, it's actually quite a nice smart little battery. And then we've got our V-mount plate lock on the back. So it's quite a tidy little battery for the price, compared to the small rig VB99. You're looking at, it's nearly half the price of that, so it's quite a significant saving. So we're just going to power it up and sort of see how it holds up, and if it's a kind of worthy contender to that, really. So the first thing we need to do is get this battery charged right up. The USB-C port on the top is an input and output, so you can use it to charge the V-mount battery and use it to charge other devices as well. You can see that it's not quite charging at the moment because there's not enough power coming through the cable, so I'm just going to plug it into my Anker power pack, and that will do it. And you can see it's about 53% battery at the moment. Have a look, it's this one down here, so it actually looks like a battery release. It's in a bit of an odd place, really. It's probably made more sense having it up here, but obviously that's a practicality thing for the battery. But this button down here, if you press it, it gives you just a quick readout of what's there. That screen might be a little bit hard to see in this video, but it essentially gives us the standard battery with the kind of bars in it, but then also a very precise percentage. So it's saying it's got 53% battery. So what I'm going to do is just get this ready for charge now. So I'm going to quickly get this charging over the USB-C port. So I stick that in. There you go, and now you can see that we're actually charging up. So I'll leave it as it is and just let it go. So we've got 53% on the battery, and we'll just see how long it takes to charge up from there. Okay, so the battery's just fully charged now, and that's taken about an hour and a half to get it to 100%. So you may or may not be able to see if we just flick the screen on. It's up to a full battery now. So when we started we were at about 53%. It's taken us an hour and a half to get to full from there. So just if we do a quick bit of maths on it, we're looking at about 3 hours ish from kind of dead. So from 0% to 100, 3 hours all in, which is not too bad actually for a charge on this. I've just used the my Anker charger with USB-C just to get this charged to 100. And in terms of power, we're looking at this battery is a 6700 milliamp hour battery, So comparatively with the battery that I would use in my camera, so if you watch this channel, you know I'm using the Panasonic GH6, and the battery for that is the BLK22. So this battery here, if this is going to grab focus, let me give that a go. No, completely missing it. There we go. This is a 2200 milliamp hour battery. So comparatively for me, you know, if you're using the GH6 or you're using the new S series cameras, you essentially from this you're going to get about 3 times the battery life. And for me on the Panasonic GH6, I probably get about 90 minutes of video out of it on the sort of more intensive video modes. So with this, I'm going to get more sort of 4 to 5 hours battery life with it. And you know, if you're a bit more conservative with your shooting modes, if you're doing photography, a mix of photography even, or some of the less intensive video modes, then you're going to get longer than that. You're more likely to get a full day out of this battery. So I'm just going to go through now and go through a few of the options that I would use with this particular battery. So the first one being using the DTAP. So I'm using the Condor Blue BLK22 lead because I'm using the GH6. This works for the new S series cameras as well, and actually some of the older GH line cameras. So I'm just going to pop the dummy battery in. I'm not going to run it out of the side door or anything for now, just to get this tested. So we've got a DTAP on both sides, so we will just grab the one on this side, just lay that down, and we'll just flick the camera on just to check that it's working, and everything looks like it's running as it should on there. So the battery itself is quite a nice size and weight. It's about 550 grams in weight, and the benefit of the 99 watt hour batteries is that you can actually use them on most airlines. So that makes it quite a nice battery if you're somebody that travels a lot and you know you need to take larger batteries with you. It can be quite a benefit there. It's just on the verge of being able to go on. Let's take that out. And then the next way I would probably use the battery is for these cameras, if you're using again sort of a newer type of mirrorless camera, you more than likely be able to use USB PD. So in the side port you quite likely have one of these USB options, and then you should be able to plug that in. You can see the battery start going, and then on the actual camera, once we flick the camera on, actually it helps for this if you put a battery in so you've got something to charge, and then what we should get is a red light on the top to say that we're charging the battery. I might have to oh no, it's there. So yeah, now it's charging the battery, and then also what I'd be looking for is a full charge as the camera's on, not just a kind of a trickle charge. So yeah, you can see we've got like a full charge there as well. So as the camera's running, it's being charged as it's working. So that's really useful, you know, if you can just mount this somewhere and just have it offering a charge to the camera, and you do actually really increase the battery life doing that. So that's another really useful way of using a battery like this. And then another thing I like to use V-mounts for is in between kind of doing drone work, I'll also use the USPD lead and see if I can get a quick charge out of this. So yeah, you can see the batteries are pretty full in there, annoyingly. Okay, they're cycling through pretty quick there. So there's a difference between a quick and a slow charge on DJI charging hubs or products. I'll link up in the corner, you know, if you want to take a look at that, but it's you may not even have kind of drone stuff, but essentially using USB PD, sometimes you can get a quick charge out of the battery, and I'm getting that out of this, so that's great. So I know I'll be able to quick charge my drone batteries, which is really useful. So it's sort of shaping up to really offer pretty much everything I need, to be honest. Okay, and I've spotted my SSD drive as well now, so what I'm going to do is just load the dummy battery back into the camera quickly. Get this onto DTAP, and then I haven't got a mount for any of this stuff, so it's a little bit messy, but we'll just plug that into there. So essentially what we've got is I'm just using this Samsung T7 Shield as my SSD drive, and I'm plugged into the DTAP cable to the camera through the dummy battery, and then I just want to see if we get all the SSD modes, because in version 2.3 of the software for GH6 it's actually offered us all the yeah, you can see we've got all the additional modes, so I can shoot essentially every shooting mode on this battery, which is brilliant. So 4K 100, and you can see I've got you know, over 6 hours worth of worth of footage. So yeah, this battery is brilliant. It's kind of in terms of, you know, what it's offering, it's got everything I need there. It can it seems to work well through DTAP. I'll be able to power my monitors and power my camera and everything through that. And then I've got the USB PD option, and then even actually the USB A option is actually quite good for some of the bits and pieces I've got as well. And if you haven't used a kind of V mount before, then it's probably worth knowing that you know, to use it, it's a bit the same as using a power bank. You know, you need somewhere to kind of store it, otherwise it's just kind of it's not a very useful thing to just have lying around. It's heavy, it's pretty bulky, you know. It's like, I mean, for a V mount of this size, it's a good size, but it's still quite a bulky accessory. So this is just off my off the rails off my cage, but essentially this piece here is the V mount adapter. So you'll just need something like this, and you can essentially you can actually connect them in quite a lot of different ways. Some of them have clamps. You can see, like, I basically for this I just put this onto the end of the rail set for my camera, so it just kind of sits on the back of the camera. But yeah, like I say, you can clamp these to tripods from these kind of rigs, or you can do all sorts really. I mean, with like the little small rig adapters and things. I'll leave a link for the one I've got. It's not necessarily the best, but it's quite versatile. You can take it off this this rod adapter, and you know, you can connect it to other things. So if you wanted to connect it to you know, like a cage or something like that, you can. It's not very ergonomic. It's not particularly easy to kind of hold just attached to a cage, because it's pretty heavy. So yeah, I find it better just sat on the back and have my screen kind of tilted up. I can do a video on, you know, how I use it on my cage and stuff if anyone's interested in that. But yeah, that's really just sort of an overview of this battery. I'm going to be using it alongside my small rig VB99 as well. And yeah, I just want to see kind of how it matches up with it. And you know, for half the money, if it does as good a job, then you know, I think it could be a really great budget option. So if you found this video helpful, then please give it a like, and if you want to see more content like this, then please subscribe.